churches. I shall be late. Oh my ears and whiskers. Something is falling into my rabbit hole. Oh, it sounds like a little girl.
Down, down, down. I wonder, where am I falling to?
It talks. It is a little girl.
After such a fall as this, I shouldn't say a word, even if I fell off the top of a house.
Which is very likely true.
How dark it looks ahead!
Oh my far and full paws. She's coming to the edge. What if she breaks to bits when she falls off?
Is this the end?
The question is there any such thing?
Of course there is. Everything comes to an end sometimes.
It might be a beginning, you know.
Beginning of what?
How can I tell till I know more about you? The fall didn't hurt you at all?
That it didn't, and it's very curious because it lasted a very long time.
That's because you belong here.
Where am I?
And I told you, you're where you belong. And that depends on what's going on inside of you.
I wish you wouldn't talk nonsense.
I wish you'd mind your manners.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
Then don't be. It doesn't work down here.
I only asked, where am I?
And I told you, you're where you belong. And that depends on what's going on inside of you.
I don't know what you mean.
How do you suppose you go off down my rabbit hole?
I fell. I was sitting by my sister on a riverbank and I saw you running by. You were talking to yourself and you took a watch out of your pocket and you look at it. And that made me so curious and I ran after you. And when you popped down the rabbit hole, I popped down after you.
And you entirely forgot that little girls can't go down rabbit holes.
Why? Yes, I just fell inside of me. That I had to see what were you doing.
Exactly. And so here you are. And you never once stopped to think how in the world you're going to get out again.
Oh dear, I want to go back. Please, back where I came from.
It's one thing to think, so another to do it.
I wish you wouldn't contradict me all the time.
Oh, very well. Go right ahead and fall up again.
Well, you don't fall up, you climb. Where I fell off, it went up like a wall. Suppose I couldn't climb it?
I am supposing it.
It's a little frightening. Oh, rabbit, please, I want to go back where I came from.
It's no use whatever you want that.
Why not?
Every arm is a one-way road. It will take you wherever you choose, but it will never take you back again.
I want to see the sky. I want to see my kitten. Is there any way to get out of here?
Now, your way is through the garden, where the trial is held.
How can I get there?
You can't.
You're very confusing. First, you said I must go through it. Then, you said I can't.
I didn't say that. I said you couldn't go for it.
Then how am I to go through it? Answer that.
When you belong in the garden, it will come to you.
I never saw a garden move.
You never saw much, and that's a fact. Oh, my whiskers! The Duchess!
Wait! White Rabbit! Please wait! White Rabbit!
What is jumpers? Can I never find a place for a quiet smoke?
Rabbit! Rabbit! Rabbit!
Someone's calling you. Can't you make her keep still? It puts me out of sorts.
You talk to her, won't you? I can't wait.
What about?
About her garden. Tell her it will never come to her till she learns to keep her temper.
Rabbit, stop!
Such a temper. It makes me feel contrary. You'd better wait and tell her yourself.
It would make me late. I promised the judges to speak up peace at her party.
I declare, it's too bad for him. That it is. Oh,
Who are you?
I hardly know, sir. At least I know who I was when I wake up this morning. But I think I've turned into somebody else.
What do you mean? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself, sir, because I'm not myself, you see.
I don't see.
Well, it feels weird to me, as if I have turned into somebody stupid.
You are.
That I'm not. I'm the head of my class. At least I was. I'll try the things I used to know. 4 times 5 is 12.
Wrong.
I'll try geography. London is the capital of Paris. That's not right, I'm certain.
Try some poetry.
I'll recite. How doth the little crocodile?
How does the little crocodile improve his shining tail and pours the water of the Nile on every fragile scale?
Some of the words have got altered.
It's wrong. From the beginning to the end.
Well, you see, sir, I've changed a great deal.
You haven't.
You make such very short and rude remarks.
I don't.
If you're going to contradict everything I say,
I'm not.
well, you've been doing it. You can't deny that.
I can. Come back. I have something important to say. Keep your temper.
Is that all?
No.
What else, sir?
Saying it is one thing and doing it another.
Keeping my temper, you mean? Well, I'll do my best, sir. I'm usually very polite, but things are so weird down here. What am I to do next?
Ask the Duchess. Knock on her door.
There isn't any door.
There
Then it wasn't very civil of him. That must be the Duchess' house. Now, no matter what happens, I'll keep my temper.
There is no sort of use in knocking. I am on the same side of the door as you are.
Please then, how am I to get in?
Are you to get in at all? That's the first question.
I'd like to ask the Duchess the way to the garden, where the trial is.
Achoo! 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 They are making such a noise in there. Nobody can hear you.
Then what am I to do next?
Anything you like?
Oh, it's no use talking to you. I'll find the garden myself. That I will. There's certainly too much pepper in that soup.
Too much? Too little. Taste.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on this farm he had some pigs, E-I-E-I-O. The run, children, run, there, you run, there, run, everybody run. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Be quiet, pig. You shouldn't call the babies names. Mind your own business. Please, mind what you're doing. Here, nurse it if you like. I've got to get ready to play the ball game with the queen in the garden. Bring in the soup. The house will be going any minute.
Tidy up and catch us.
She said, in the garden. Will you please tell me?
There is no sort of use asking me. I'm not in the mood to talk about gardens.
I must ask someone. What sort of people live around here?
To the right lives Hatter. To the left lives Hill. Visit either you like, they are both mad.
I don't want to go among mad people.
We can't help it. We are all mad here. Give me the pen.
You shouldn't call the baby pig.
That's all you know.
Which shall shall I visit? I wonder. I hope they're not quite mad.
Here's a place, clean as clean, not a single crumb.
Help me with the table. They didn't seem to see me. I'm going to be polite this time, no matter what happens. Because of course, the rabbit was talking nonsense. A garden couldn't come to me.
Did you tell the dormouse to bring the chairs?
I couldn't find him.
He's asleep. I put him in the teapot.
Then we'll have to carry him, teapot and all, or push him.
Be quick, a tea will get cold.
You'll have to help me with it. If you please, will you tell me?
No room, no room.
There's plenty of room.
Have some candy.
I don't see any.
There isn't any.
Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit here without being invited.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was your table. It laid for great many more than 3. If you please, will you tell me? Shall we tell her? You don't know what sort of question I'm going to ask yet.
It doesn't matter how it is.
What matters is how you behave.
It was the best butter you know.
Try some hot tea.
It's no use. It's since 6 o'clock. He won't wake up. We'll have to move him.
Oh, it isn't very tidy. It's been used before.
What's good enough for us is good enough for you.
If it was good enough, why didn't you stay there? The rule is move down 3 places. But now there are 4 of us. If you can't be civil, you'd better wait till you're invited. It's very nice of you to take me in, I'm sure.
I want the young lady to recite the poem.
I'm afraid I wouldn't get it quite right.
Recite. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Twinkle, twinkle, star.
Pension! Begin!
Twinkle, 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 twinkle.
Pension! He doesn't mind me. Now, then recite. Twinkle, twinkle, little bad. How I wondered what you're at. That's not quite right. I'm afraid.
There's nothing right about it. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.
Pinch him on the both at once. Oh, you spilled the milk. Pick it up at once. I can't pick up milk. You can't do much and that's a fact. I'd be glad to wipe it up if I had a cloth. It's gone into the ground too. There's plenty of clean ground. Help us to move the table.
And mind, what do you think about while you do it?
What must I think about?
All the manner of things, everything that begins with M.
Mousetraps, the moon, memory, muchness. Why with M? Why not?
Take some more tea.
I've had nothing yet, so I can't take more. If you please, and excuse me, oh Dormouse, oh Hatter, oh Hare, would you be so very kind to tell me the way to the garden? Just keep on moving the way you're going now. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, oh Dormouse. Goodbye, oh Hatter. Goodbye, oh Hare. keep on going the way you're going now. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right in one place.
The question is there any such thing?
Of course there is. Every place is in one place. Wow! What a lovely garden! But I don't see any place for a trial.
How do you know? You don't.
There ought to be jury boxes where a trial is. I don't exactly know what they are, but I've read about them in a paper.
You don't belong in the trial yet. When you do, the jury boxes will be right here.
Will they come to me when I don't know? Like the garden?
Yes, but you'll have to run very fast. Very, very fast.
Why must I run? If the trial is right here.
It will be one of those times you have to run as fast as you can to stay where you are or faster.
I wish you wouldn't keep talking nonsense.
Of course, if you're going to begin losing your temper again.
I'm sorry. I'm really very, very sorry. I can't seem to help it so. All the creatures find fault on me. They think I don't seem to amount to anything at all.
The question is, do you?
I'm afraid I don't amount too much. All the creatures find fault in me. They look down on me. It upsets me.
That's because you're afraid. You don't amount too much. You'll never belong in the trial till you get over that.
Oh, Rabbit, please, can you tell me how can I stop feeling like that?
I can, yes. But it's no use whatever to tell you that.
Why not?
You'll never know until you have done it.
It sounds sort of easy, just not to let someone make me feel good for nothing.
That's it.
I'm hoping someone and begin. I can hardly wait.
Beautiful soul, so rich and green, beautiful soul, beautiful soul, so rich and green, beautiful soul.
Who's that?
That's the mock turtle.
I never saw Mock Turtle. What's he like?
He's the one we make mock turtle soup of. Of course.
I'm afraid. I suppose I'm not used to him.
You should be glad of that. The thing to be afraid of is to getting news of things. Something you never saw before is exciting.
Come on now. I haven't the least idea what a mock turtle is, but I won't let him upset me. That I won't.
Of course, you don't. Nobody does.
Don't you?
Of course, I do. Everybody does.
It's very confusing. How can I amount too much and not amount to anything at the same time?
That's what nobody knows, but you do.
How? It's very confusing. How can I amount too much as the mock turtle? Because he doesn't sing that well, and I was chosen to sing at the last day of school.
That'll never work. The way not to feel good for nothing is to forget all about it. And the way to forget all about it is to remember somebody else. Now I wonder, she'll come and approach someone who makes her forget all about it. Well, it won't make any difference in the taste of carrots.
No how. Contrariwise. If you think you were backward, you ought to pay, you know.
If If you think we are alive, you ought to stay.
Oh, I'm very sorry if I was rude. I was thinking, I know who you are. Twiddle-dee, twiddle-dum.
You have begun wrong. The first thing as a visitor is to say, "How do you do?" and shake hands.
Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush so early in the morning.
You see, I can dance when it's a sensible dance.
Did you think you couldn't?
Well, things have been so weird lately. Everything I do is wrong.
What sort of things?
Well, poetry?
Do you like poetry?
Some poetry, when I know what it means.
That sounds clever.
The trouble is, not everything that sounds clever is clever. Know how?
Contrary wise,
The boulders and the carpenter is the longest.
let's recite the poem again.
Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush so early in the morning.
So please, Your Majesty.
Can you play a ball game?
Yes, you're all very kind. But if I'm to play with queens,
Speak when you're spoken to.
but if everyone obeys that rule, and if you only spoke when you're spoken to, and everybody waited for you to begin, nobody would say anything.
What did you mean by if I'm to play with the queens?
You can't play with us, you know, until you have passed a proper examination.
What did you mean?
I only said if.
She says she only said if.
And she stood a great deal more than that.
A great deal more.
I'm sure. I didn't mean you should have read. What do you suppose is the use of child without any meaning?
Even a joke has some meaning, and a child is more important than a joke.
I hope. You couldn't deny that if you tried with your both hands.
I don't deny things with my hands.
Nobody said you did. Can you do addition?
Of course I can.
What's 1 and 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 1?
I don't know. I lost count.
She can't do addition. Can you do subtraction? Take 9 from 8.
9 from 8? You can't, you know. But
She can't do subtraction. Try again. Take a bone from a dog. What remains?
the bone wouldn't remain, of course.
Wrong. The dog's temper would remain.
I don't see.
She doesn't see. The dog would lose his temper, wouldn't he?
I suppose so.
And if he went away, his temper would remain, wouldn't it?
She can't do sums of it.
I can so. If there are proper sums.
Recite. You are old, Father William.
I don't know that, but I can recite part of the walrus and...
Repeat it after me. You are old, Father William. The young man cried. The hair which is left is grey. Yet, you're strong, Father William. A happy old man. Now tell me the reason I prayed.
I think I can remember that. In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might be injured the brain, but now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, I do it again and again.
That's not said right.
Not quite right. I'm afraid.
Off with his head, at once.
No, Your Majesty.
Silence.
It wasn't the name, Your Majesty.
Who are you? Who are you?
You can't take off his head till he had a real trial.
Who says so?
I say so.
The trial begins.
Run! Run! Run!
Whether you can or not.
Then I won't let it happen. That I won't.
Oh, my whiskers! Here they come.
over.
Order in the court.
Herald, read the accusation.
The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts all on a summer day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them quite away.
Consider your verdict.
Not yet. There's a great deal to come before that.
What?
Well, witnesses,
Call the first witness.
The cook,
Were you in the kitchen when the queen made tarts?
I was.
You saw her make the tarts?
I oversaw her, Your Majesty.
Was there anyone else in the kitchen?
Yes.
Woman or man?
Man.
Describe his costume.
Can't. Didn't see him.
that's because she didn't know where he was, Your Majesty.
Where was he?
He was hiding under the tables or behind doors or an oven or flowers or things.
Then how did you know he was there?
Heard him.
What did you hear?
He sneezed.
Achoo! 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 Try the prisoner with the pepper. The prisoner was in the kitchen. Write it down.
it's not fair.
Order in the court.
The cook may stand down.
I can't.
Off with the head.
I can't go any lower. I'm on the floor as it is.
Then you may stand aside. Call the prisoner.
The Knave of Hearts smiled in the presence of the king. I said smile, not smirk.
That's the proper style. Jurors, listen closely. I'm about to make a searching test. Prisoner, do you know how tarts are made?
I can answer that. You take some
It's of no consequence. That proves he was hiding under the tables, flowers, or things, watching the queen at her cooking. Write it down. It practically proves the prisoner guilty. Let the jury consider it carefully. Where were you when the tarts were set out to cool in the garden? Did you see anyone there?
I saw the cook.
Nothing of the sort. Ask him if he spoke with anyone.
Did you speak with anyone?
He spoke with me.
Did he show any signs of having eaten tarts?
He's eaten a great many.
How do you know?
He paid me compliments.
I deny that.
You mumbled something. But I knew that you meant I was pretty.
I didn't know. I meant that.
He is too afraid of being found out to know what he means.
I fear he ate the tarts. I fear he ate them all. Write it down.
Stuff and nonsense. What sort of evidence is that? Rough it out. He acts guilty. He is guilty.
We are ready with the verdict.
Suppress the dormouse.
Shall we sing it or say it?
Say!
You couldn't possibly be ready to give it yet. You certainly can't call that a verdict.
I can and I do.
It's just nonsense.
You may call it nonsense if you like, but I've heard nonsense compared to which that would be as sensible as a dictionary.
The question is a dictionary ever sensible?
Consider the verdict.
There's nothing in that verdict to consider.
I hadn't come to the verdict. That must be whispered.
Our verdict is, do you call that a whisper? If you do such a thing again, I'll have you butchered. Silence! Rule 52. If any child who laughs out loud must leave the court.
That's not a regular rule. You invented it just now.
It's the oldest rule in the book.
Then it ought to be number 1.
On with the execution.
That's not right. The idea of having execution first, you haven't had a sensible trial yet.
First the execution, then the verdict, then the trial.
Nothing of the sort.
Anyways, we have had a trial.
You haven't called all the witnesses. Have some evidence to give.
Your Majesty, here's something that was picked up in the garden. A scroll.
What's in it?
It seems to be a letter written by the prisoner.
Who is it directed to?
It is not directed at all, and that's the strange part of it.
Is it in the prisoner's handwriting?
No, it isn't, and that's the weirdest thing about it.
He must have imitated someone else's writing.
Please, Your Majesty.
I didn't write that, and they can't prove that I did. My name's not signed at the end.
There is no name signed at the end.
If you did sign it, that only makes the matter worse. You must have made some mistake, or you'd have signed your your name like an honest man.
That proves his guilt.
That proves nothing of the sort. You don't even know what the letter's about.
I will read it.
It isn't a letter at all. It's a set of verses.
He disguised his handwriting.
It's a secret code.
I can't read it. Can anyone else read this scroll? No. So it's plain. He wrote it, so no one could. There is no telling what's in it. This is terrible.
You don't know whether it's terrible till you know what the letter's about. Anyways, nobody knows the knave wrote it.
Read it yourself. If he did write it, either he wrote it for himself or somebody else can read it.
Is it that true?
It sounds true, but there's something wrong about it.
Read it yourself then. Suppress that dormouse. Off with his whiskers. Remove him from the boat.
It seems to me I have seen him writing like this before. If I could remember, what was I doing? Yes, I was combing my hair in a looking glass. It looks like glass handwriting. All you have to do is read it backwards. The title is Jabberwocky.
If she's so sure of that, let her read it. Your Majesty, let her read it without a stop.
I give you 182 seconds.
I won't read it. Who cares of you? You don't amount to anything at all. You're just a pack of cards.
She doesn't feel good for nothing anymore.
No harm.
Contrary-wise.
No harm.
The sky! My kitten!
Oh, Cookie, I miss you. Meow.
Oh my god! At last! It was just a dream.
एक था राजा, एक थी रानी। दोनों मर गए, खत्म कहानी। बस अब अपने अपने घर जाओ। राम राम। अरे ताऊ, तुझे कितनी बार कहा है, दर्शकों के साथ ऐसा मजाक मत करा कर। पर तू तो खुद को पता नहीं क्या ही समझता है। अब तेरी उम्र हो गई है, जिसकी वजह से तुझे भूलने की बीमारी भी हो गई। कथा खत्म नहीं हुई, वो तो अब शुरू होगी। वो देख, कलाकार तो अभी तैयार ही हो रहे हैं। मेरी एक मूंछ मेरे हाथ में ही है। जा, तू अंदर जा। साईदास, जरा देखो, कालिदास जी तैयार है ना?
अहम आगच्छामि।
नहीं कालिदास जी, नो संस्कृत। ये तो हम सब अच्छी तरह से जानते हैं कि आपने अभिज्ञान शकुंतलम की रचना शुद्ध संस्कृत यानी ऋषि मुनियों की भाषा में की है। लेकिन आप दर्शकों को यह कथा हिंदी में सुनाओगे। बोलो, हिंदी बोल सकोगे ना?
हाँ हाँ, मैं हिंदी अच्छे से बोलता, लिखता और समझता हूँ।
ये तो बहुत बढ़िया बात हुई। बस एक बात का ध्यान रखना कि अब समय बदल गया है और लोगों के पास कथाकारों के गहरे विचारों में डूबने का समय अब नहीं रहा। बस सब जल्दी में रहते हैं। बस अब जल्दी जल्दी अपनी कहानी सुना दो। बताओ अब किस स्थान पर बैठोगे?
मैं तो कहीं भी बैठ जाऊंगा, पर दर्शकों से कहना चाहता हूँ कि कहानी के बीच से उठकर ना चले जाएं, बस कहानी पूरी सुने। मैंने इस कहानी को दर्शाने के लिए जीवित पात्रों को तैयार किया है। जा तो अंदर जा और दूसरी मूंछ फिट करके आ। समय बर्बाद ना कर, बातें कम और काम ज्यादा। सुनो सुनो लोगों, देखो देखो लोगों, नए रूप में कथा पुरानी कालिदास की कलम से निकली, अब सुनो हमारी ज़बानी। महाकवि की अमर कहानी, एक था राजा एक थी रानी, दोनों की ये प्रेम कहानी। स्वागत स्वागत शुभ स्वागत, सबके हम हैं शुक्रगुजार। आपके आने से आ गई है शिगाली के आंगन में बहार, शिगाली के आंगन में बहार।